Good morning, crew. Last night was a few beers and a good night's sleep. Got a bit of rain during the night and we woke up to a whole heap of clouds, so hopefully it clears up. Plan of attack today is we've just had a quick stop at Dundubra. They've got some pretty good amenities in there, so we're going to keep making our way north. Indian Head, Orchid Beach, and if all goes to plan, might even get across to Wathumba. So hopefully we don't get too wet and the day's a good one.
Welcome to paradise. A gunshot rings out at the station. Another urchin snaps and left dead on his own. It makes me wonder why I'm still here. For some strange reason it's now feeling like my home, and I'm never gonna go. Welcome to paradise.
So we're making our way north. Like I said, we've come up from Dundubra. We've just crossed over Indian Head here. Doing a little walk now. We're going to go up, have a look at the Champagne Pools. So the story is that they've filled up with sand after Tropical Cyclone Alfred. We'll go and have a look. If they're full of sand, what I'll do is I'll stitch in some of the footage from the trip a couple of years ago and you'll see what they were. They were just full of fish and it was absolutely beautiful the way that the waves were just rolling over them. But let's go and have a look. Let's not get too overexcited.
Welcome to paradise.
So made our way down here to the Champagne Pools, and sure as, fortunately they're full of sand, so there's still some small waves breaking in over them and it's still really pretty. There's a really nice walking track to get down here, so still absolutely worth the walk, still worth coming to have a look. It's just not the same as it was. So I'm lucky enough I was here a couple of years ago and I got some really cool footage of what they were, so I'll stick that in here. What you're going to see is not what it is today, but it's just a little example of how beautiful the water was and what it really looked like. sure over time Mother Nature will do a thing and they'll clear their way out. You probably get a little wade around in there now, but definitely no good for a proper swim. But like I said, still absolutely worth the effort. Make your way down here because they are very, very special. So now, going to make our way back to the car, get in, off to Waddy, and then hopefully the pub up at Orchid is also open and we might get a sneaky beer in there as well. So back on the track.
Dingo just up here on the hill having a feed. Been watching him. He's just cruising his way around the rocks, a bit like a mountain goat. One of the boys just put his drone up, got his attention. The Dingo, J-Mac.
I got a text message about a day before we came up here, and it was from Parks and Wildlife, and they said keep an eye on your children, but mine's bigger than me, so maybe you should be looking after me. Worked away around to Waddy Point, and as you're coming around to the point, there's a little road off that brings you out onto the eastern side. So we've ducked over here and had a bit of a look. Really, really pretty. There's only one other car here. Got Nathan down here having a bit of a fish. I'm going to chuck the drone up and have a little bit of a look around Waddy Point, and then you get back over there on the calm side. So there's probably about 7 or 8 trawlers in on the other side. Look like they're all having a sleep, been out working last night, so must be a few prawns around as well.
Little crabs down here in the rock.
One thing we have noticed this year that we haven't seen as much other years here is the amount of trash on the island. A lot of it must have washed in with the cyclone, but geez, there's some rubbish around, so we've been picking bag loads of it up every day and just dumping it. But it's just a really good message, you know, like don't leave the rubbish laying around, don't let it get into the waterway, because yeah, so much of it's washed up, and most of it's just plastic, which is never going to go anywhere but sit there and just be a nuisance for decades to come. our way across to Wathumba. We went and had a look to see if we could get up and have a look. Nagala's closed at the moment, but we shot up there to see if we could just go and have a bit of a walk around, have a look, but tide was a little bit high and all the washout. There's a heap of trees there, so we couldn't really even get any further around than Orchid. So yeah, like I said, hopped our way back on the Wathumba road now. So we've got about 10, 15 more Ks and we'll be over there, and hopefully we'll get a fish in. Might get a couple of whiting. So see how we go. You know what? They say west is best. Have a look at this. This is Wathumba. It's absolutely beautiful. So that way, about 75 kilometres as the crow flies, is Bundaberg, and that way about 45 k's as the crow flies is back to Urangan at Harvey Bay. Like I said earlier, they say west is best. This place has absolutely amazing sunsets. If you're looking to have yourself a nice beer and watch the sun go down, this place is it. Watching the sunset over the mainland is absolutely beautiful. This area also has, and we'll go for a little walk through in a minute, a dingo-proof camping area. So some nice fences, nice and safe for the kids. There's some picnic tables up there. We've camped here before, and it's been really, really nice. Come down on the beach here, which is just a short walk down, and we fished out here just for really for whiting and stuff, but we managed to get lots of different species of fish in here, and I'm sure they'd get crabs and stuff at the right time of year. This is the Wathumba camping ground. So over here, got a men's and women's toilets, washing toilets, not like a long drop, so they're good. Here's the main camping area. Got some picnic tables over here, plenty of campgrounds. It's nice and shady, so if you're here in summer, you get a fair bit of protection. The only problem with it is it might give you a little bit of grief if you're trying to charge your batteries from the solar perspective, but I hear someone running a generator in the background. They got it far enough away, it's just a gentle little hum in the background, making sure they keep the fridges and the beers cold. But yeah, that's the campground. Not much to it, but it's certainly functional and right on the edge of the water. The other thing you find scattered around the island here are these bins. Rangers normally have them filled up with, it's just bits of conduit, but you can pick them up when you're walking outside these fenced areas. If the dingoes get close, you can use it just to sort of shoo them off for a bit of protection. This time of year, through till about the end of May, is their breeding season, so they do say that you can expect to have more dingo encounters than normal, but we've been pretty lucky this trip. They've all been really well behaved, but yeah, just be mindful, guys. Dingo safe all the time, because at the end of the day, they are wild animals, and you just never know what's going through their mind if they want to have a shot at you. So keep the kids close and keep your wits about you.
Mate, I think your watch is reading in Fahrenheit, because it is not 26 degrees.
I know, so important.
Still Fahrenheit, I think. Holy fuck!
I call chicken. Just get at it.
Hey, we're 2 seconds away from a wrestle, so.
Yeah, guys. Well, that's Wathumba. So, plan for this afternoon is kids are having a bit of a swim, having a little bit of a fish over here, see if we can add to the whiting total from last night. Then we're going to jump back in the cars, back over to the east side, and then head back towards camp. So I'm really eager to see if I can find some pippies. Getting a little bit short on the bait. So yeah, we're going to just keep going south, depending on what the tide's doing. If I can get a bit further south, been told down near Yidney Rocks, which is just south of Happy Valley, there's some pippies. So probably just scoot back to camp. This place absolutely turns it on for sunsets. If you're coming over to this west coast, this is a really, really good option. We fished here and got lots of different species of fish. We've caught everything from flathead to whiting. We've even managed to hook and release a couple of stingrays. So look, this is an absolutely awesome place. If you're coming over here and you find the time to get across, definitely worth a visit. So we'll bypass camp, slip down, grab ourselves some pippies and have a little afternoon whiting fish again. Well, I don't know how good you're going to hear me, guys, but we've just got back to camp and we've probably got about 30 to 35 knots of breeze from the southeast that is just torn through camp. We've had broken gazebos, we've had toilet stalls blown away, we had, my camp fridge fell over, broke the lid off, and I had 2 of my dinners taken by the dingoes. Bit of chaos here, just been probably spending the last 20-25 minutes re-securing everything. So yeah, probably an early night tonight, guys. It is blowing its guts out. I was keen for a bit of a fish to see if I could go and catch a few more of the whiting, but oh well, not tonight. We'll get up early in the morning, go get some pippies and try again. So it was a really nice day over the western side, but a bit of a shame to come back to chaos, but you know what, that's camping and it's still better than being at home. So catch you tomorrow.